Yeah, this is quite an extraordinary day in American politics, and it does seem to be the culmination of Donald Trump's quest for retribution, particularly against those people who he believes went after him using the legal system, both when he was president, but also before he became president. James Comey, you might well remember, was instrumental in the 2016 campaign, both because of his role as the head of the FBI and his involvement in investigating Hillary Clinton, who was at that point the Democratic candidate, but also Donald Trump. He had some connection with the so-called Russiagate scandal. James Comey was the FBI, head of the FBI when Donald Trump was elected in 2016, and then he was fired by Donald Trump and has since become a major critic of Donald Trump's reign in the presidential office. So he's been indicted in regards to his congressional testimony. It appears to be under two charges, one giving a false statement and an obstruction of a congressional proceeding. So he has been indicted by a grand jury in Virginia. He is the first director or former director of the FBI to ever be charged with a criminal offence. So this is a significant day, but obviously raises real questions about how involved Donald Trump has been in this process. He put public pressure on his Attorney General in recent days in order to bring charges against his perceived enemies, and the time was ticking on being able to charge James Comey over his testimony. He basically is alleged to have lied to Congress regarding the Russia investigation of Donald Trump. Excuse me, because it was coming up to the statute of limitations, which is 5 years from when that testimony was given. So this is a significant day. The Attorney General and the current director of the FBI referred to this seemingly on social media without actually naming the case, but these are the details as we have it now. And obviously this is also going to worry many of the other perceived enemies of Donald Trump. He has been putting pressure not only to go after James Comey, but other members or former members of the Justice Department regarding some of the investigations into him. He was indicted on 4 different cases. So a significant day in American politics and a worrying trend, or perhaps the start of a worrying trend for those people who Donald Trump perceives to be his enemies and people he believes he needs to pay back.
Carrington, we never really have to wait long for the president to give his opinion on it, and he has just posted on social media about the indictment. Let me just read it to you. Justice in America, one of the worst human beings this country has ever been exposed to, is James Comey, the former corrupt, says President Trump, head of the FBI. Today, he was indicted by a grand jury on 2 felony counts for various illegal and unlawful acts. He has been so bad for our country for so long and is now at the beginning of being held responsible for his crimes against our nation. Make America great again. That from Donald Trump in the last few minutes. Any reaction? I know it's early days, Carrington, but any reaction from the Democrats or from the FBI?
Well, we have heard from the director of the FBI, that's Kash Patel, who's also spoken support. The message coming from them clearly is that this is following justice. As you would expect, he is the direct appointment of Donald Trump. We wait to see how other supporters of James Comey respond, and obviously how the Democrats will respond to this as well. But this is a significant development. I mean, we need to be careful to not underplay what a major move it is for the current Justice Department, the Attorney General, to go after a man who not only served as the head of the FBI, but also a Deputy Attorney General at one point as well. James Comey is a very well-known figure in the justice system, and he had, up until the 2016 election, a pretty unblemished record for serving his country. So this is a major, significant move. Donald Trump making this so personal and deciding to be so involved, and the fact that he made this public demand of his Attorney General before this indictment, they were able to achieve this indictment, is almost certainly going to be used by James Comey's lawyers to claim that this is a prejudiced prosecution, that he is being persecuted by Donald Trump because of a personal issue. And we will see how that argument is accepted during the trial process. It should be pointed out the indictment came through a grand jury. They had to convince a grand jury that there was a certain level of evidence, probable cause, but to actually get a conviction, the standard moves up to beyond reasonable doubt, which is obviously a much higher bar to clear. So this is significant, but James Comey will have his time in court, and we wait to see whether or not they can convince a jury that he deserves to be convicted of these charges.